Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Silver Rose song. This one's an original this time, and it's The Calm After the Storm. I did actually talk to Silver Rose and my executive producers when they requested this, and I knew it was happening today. It's just like, okay, what's up? Like, give me a little bit of an overview. It's just a lo-fi track, but it's something that they're working towards improving their craft on. Understanding mixing especially is going to be like a next step sort of thing, but this is supposed to be an evolution of the last one's skill set, and it's like, that's always exciting. And it's also nice to have something that's apparently lo-fi and chill, because the last few songs I've recorded tonight have been just extremely energetic bangers, and while that's fun, I want to be able to mellow out, hear something, be able to take it back, peel back layers, and give like real constructive criticism. So that's what I'll be doing today, and without further ado, let's go! Okay, already noticing some things. As Silver Rose starts to go, oh no, already? Yes. Nothing too bad though. Like, gauge your expectations. That was nice, a little do-do-do-do. That was good. A nice evolution right when it needed it. I think the core of this like lo-fi stuff is keeping the melody very simple. And this is, and that is fantastic. Just putting that out there. You don't want to overcomplicate a chill song. It needs to match the vibe. I like this kind of detuned sort of thing going on here too. It might not be detuned, it might be like a marimba or something? A xylophone, maybe? Might just be all the effects added on top of it, all the compression stuff, making it sound that way. Could be one of the effects to detune it a little bit. It reminds me of the first Music Box thing I ever did. Just that calm simplicity. Also reminds me of a lot of like TikTok background music that happens. Man. Okay. Like I said, I noticed some things. We're going to talk about those, but overall, really fucking good composition. All right, so the first thing I noticed immediately, and the reason that I made a mention of it, was literally the mixing. Like, I could tell immediately there was some issues with it. It's not even that it's specific to like the instruments being out of whack or anything. I think it's probably the fact that there's so many filters on this song, so many effects, that it's kind of making everything over compressed. And while that is part of that lo-fi style, it's not necessarily going to help when it's shoving a bunch of frequencies back into the mix. And that was actually something that I talked with Silver about hours ago, well before I was recording, and when we were talking about the song. They said they used a lot of filters for it and a lot of effects, and it's like, okay, you're achieving that goal, but it will add in more frequencies, and that definitely did happen, especially feeling overly compressed in the higher range stuff, like when the piano was going up to the higher notes. I could really hear it crushing up there, and not in the good way, so it's just like, you gotta be careful. Again, we've already talked about that, but that was like the first thing I noticed. But as far as the song itself goes, keeping it in the key of C and just kind of keeping things simple, an easy one to write in, and by all means, a very effective melody this time around. I like that it wasn't the exact same thing mirrored on both octaves, like and just doing that over and over again, there was a little bit of a difference there, having stuff like and like moving up and down the notes instead of just having them do the exact same thing. That is a killer for so many beginners. That's just like, stop, like have a little bit of flavor, have a little bit of variety, have your two separate parts of the octave being played, not actually interacting with the exact same notes. That's how the song is supposed to progress itself. If you don't let it do that and you just play the exact same thing at the top and bottom, it's going to get old very quick. There's nothing for the brain to really grab a hold of and take an adventure with, So that was a very good call here. Keeping it, again, simple as it should be in this genre, but at the same time, not falling into the trap of doing what every beginner does and just copying the exact same thing and putting it an octave higher. It's through this process that you get a proper call and response. So this ended up working out beautifully for the song and made it sound that much more cozy and endearing, while also not just being slop, basically just not being the same crap constantly and getting really boring really quick. So again, very good call there. Everything about the composition, in my opinion, was very nice, including those little like extra details on the melody, just kind of like do 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 do, like just moving other parts around, keeping again that movement going. It's not part of the call and response, but at the same time, you have a separate entity now that's continuing a different motif later. And if you were to put this in like a game or something, that could be used. You could pluck that section out and put that into another song and call back to it. That's the sort of like proactive thinking you need to do when you're a composer. So as far as all that goes, it's a very good song. It's just a matter of a little too many effects, but again, we already talked about that. It's just a matter of understanding the mixing and applying things there before you slap a bunch of filters and effects on it, because that will affect other parts of the mix. So for example, with this one, it feels like it's extremely crushed and overcompressed to the point where it almost just feels like a wall of noise at times. Like there's so much sound happening that it's actually becoming deafening in some frequency ranges. So it's that sort of thing you need to be careful about. Otherwise, you will keep doing it over and over again, especially with this many filters and effects in there. Just add one or two. You don't need much. You can crank them up a little bit, but if you start to go too far, you will go too far and have the effect that this one has, which is just frankly too much going on there. And you wouldn't be able to fit this into a game, much like I said you could earlier. Not with all this crap going on. There would be too many frequencies getting in the way of especially the human voice. So if you were to put this underneath like talking, some of those frequencies would get canceled out by default and you wouldn't be able to actually hear them. Or you would have to really turn down the music to the point where you could basically not hear it, which at that point, why would it be in there? So these are things to be careful of. I don't think that Silver's goal is to be a game composer, for example, but any media would have this issue, because if you put dialogue in here, it would be the exact same. If you were to have a singer, a vocalist in this song, a lot of those frequencies would just be lost. So you have to be careful about when and where to place these frequencies. But again, we've talked about all that many times. It's just me kind of fleshing out my thoughts and giving them more wordy to hopefully be a little bit more understood. And Silver did say that they're like applying what I say to their future works, which is awesome, but also you gotta learn how to do things, and I'm not a tutorial channel. There are plenty of those, and we already did talk about how EQ is one of the worst parts of the job. It's not fun. EQ has never been a good time. Even producers and mixing professionals who do it on a daily basis multiple times don't necessarily love it most times. They tend to just do it because it either pays the bills, or for some reason they're a freak of nature and they actually like sitting there and just dialing things in for hours. Some people can do it really quick, but that comes with experience, that comes with knowledge, that comes with the ability to look at an EQ and go, ah, yes, what do I boost and cut today? Where are my notches today? And if none of that made sense, you will learn, and it will suck, but you will improve. But I think that I've said basically everything I was going to say, so thank you all so very much for watching, and thank you, Silver, for trusting me with giving you my opinions on these things. And while I'm not like a pro in this field, you do want to get some varied opinions, so ask other people, not just me, of course, and get other people people's thoughts on it, listen to other things in other ways using other headphones and other factors. I know that Silver Rose is doing these on like the mobile FL Studio, so it's not like the most flexible or anything, but it still is powerful enough to do things like learning EQ and figuring out all that stuff and just being careful. And this is, of course, a thing for Silver as well. Listen to things in multiple headphones. If you have some earpods lying around, big cans like I've got on my head, or just speakers, plug it into your fucking TV speaker or something. Just throw it into a few things, play it in a car. You know, that's one thing that a lot of pros still do. They will go to a car and play their mix in a car before they finalize it, because most people will be listening in their car. So it's a factor of just understanding how cars work, but also it gives you a good generalized mix for what the masses will hear. While that might not be necessarily relevant to you at this stage, it can help you learn what is and isn't too boomy, for example, because cars resonate very specifically and way different from things like headphones. But I'll digress there. If you want me to get to anything, drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you want to guarantee something, much like Silver did for this one, you can go to my Patreon or my YouTube memberships, where you can force me to listen to something. It doesn't matter what it's from, who it's by. It can be by yourself, obviously, or it can just be something completely random. It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be bad. It can be anything. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that. And I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!